Hey everyone, for a lot of developers, upgrading your Java version can feel like a real chore. It's a bunch of work and you're not always sure what the payoff is going to be. But I gotta say, the jump from Java 21 to the new long-term support release, Java 25, well, that's a whole different story. Let's break down why. We have all been there, right? You're looking at the release notes, you're thinking about all the testing, the possible compatibility headaches, and you ask yourself this exact question. Is it really worth all the trouble to upgrade right now? Well, how's this for an answer? For a lot of applications, you are looking at a potential 15 to 20% performance boost, completely for free. I'm talking no code changes, no refactoring, just pure, out-of-the-box speed. So where in the world does this magic number come from? Let's get into it. First up, let's talk about these free performance gains. This is all about the magic happening under the hood, inside the JVM, where years and years of tiny improvements all add up to make your existing code run way faster. And here's the proof in the pudding. This shows a pretty standard Spring Boot app after it's all warmed up and running at its best. On JDK 21, you can see it's handling about 8,500 requests. But just by flipping the switch to JDK 25, bam, that number jumps to 10,500. That is the 15 to 20% boost we're talking about right there in black and white. So how is this even possible? Well, think of it like compound interest, but for performance. It's all the little changes made between Java 21 and 25, adding up. The JVM engineers have been relentlessly optimizing all the common stuff, like string handling or I/O, and when you upgrade, you just inherit all that hard work instantly. A fantastic example of this is a new feature called compact object headers. This came out of a thing called Project Lilliput, and its whole goal was to shrink the memory footprint of every single object in Java. And boy, did they deliver. They literally cut the header size in half, from 128 bits all the way down to 64. Now, the ripple effect of this is huge. We're talking a potential 10 to 20% drop in how much heap memory you use, which means your garbage collector can just chill out a bit. Now, it's not a silver bullet. For some apps, it might lower throughput, so you've got to test it on your workload. But turning it on, it's as easy as adding one little command line flag. Okay, another major performance fix has to do with virtual threads. They were a total game changer in Java 21, but they had this one big Achilles heel, something called pinning. It's where a virtual thread would get handcuffed to a real operating system thread, which basically torpedoed the whole point of using them and could just kill your scalability. Well, the great news is, that's fixed now. In Java 25, thanks to a Java enhancement proposal that tackled a problem famously highlighted by Netflix, virtual threads don't pin inside synchronized blocks anymore. This makes them way more reliable and ready for massive scale, which is a massive win for anyone building highly concurrent applications. Okay, so your app is running faster, which is awesome. But what about you? Let's shift gears and talk about the new tools in Java 25 that are designed to make your actual day-to-day life as a developer way easier. I absolutely love this quote because it is so true. The JDK Flight Recorder, or JFR, is probably one of the most powerful and most underutilized tools in the entire JDK. If you're not using it yet, you are seriously missing out. So what is this thing? Think of it like a black box flight recorder, but for your application. And the best part? It's built right into the JDK. It has incredibly low overhead, and it's totally safe to run all the time, even in production. It is perfect for hunting down those tricky performance bugs without needing any fancy third-party tools. And, getting started with it is way simpler than you might think. You literally just add a little start flight recording command when you launch your app, set a few options like what to name the file, and that's it. You just let it run. Then, when something weird happens, you've got this super detailed report just waiting for you. And in Java 25, JFR gets a serious superpower. You can now tell it to time specific methods or trace out their call stacks. And here's the kicker. You do all of this through configuration. You don't have to touch a single line of your application's source code to get these incredibly deep insights. How cool is that? All right, let's switch gears to a language feature. We've all been there, right? You're writing a constructor, and you know that the call to super must be the very first statement. It's like the law. This always made stuff like input validation super awkward. Well, with flexible constructors in Java 25, that rule gets relaxed. You can finally put logic like validation right where it belongs, before the super call. Now, this might seem like a small change, but trust me, it's a huge win for clean code. It just makes your constructors way more readable and gets rid of all those clunky workarounds we've all had to write over the years. And after being in preview for a bit, this is now a permanent part of the language. So we've got performance, we've got better tooling. Let's talk about the final and maybe most important piece of the puzzle, stability. Because Java 25 isn't just another release, it's the new standard. It's the next official long-term support version. This timeline really puts it all into perspective, doesn't it? Java 25 is joining a very exclusive club of LTS releases. These are the versions that are considered the bedrock for serious production applications. You can see the rhythm here. Java 25 is the next logical, stable step in that evolution. So what does LTS actually mean for you? Well, first, it means stability. It means you're going to get at least 5 years of premier support and security updates. It's the version you can bet the farm on for projects that need to be around for a long, long time. It becomes the new, safe default for everybody. And that really brings it all together. The upgrade to Java 25 is so compelling because it's the total package. You get a huge performance boost for free, you get amazing new tools that make your job easier, and you get the peace of mind that comes with a stable, long-term support release. The big takeaway here is that Java is not standing still. It's moving faster and getting better than ever before, all while keeping that legendary stability. So the real question is, with all this new power at your fingertips, what are you going to build with it?